statement, and then we'll open up for questions after that.
Yeah, just really excited that basketball season's here. Been pleased with everything we've learned about our team to this point. Have been had some unique challenges in the first 3 games. Really like the versatility and the depth and some of the different things that we think we can really double down on as we go forward. Obviously, very excited about our game on Thursday, first true road game, and working hard to get ready for that. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
Usually at this point in the season, you're talking about the unknowns of the opponents and that there's, you don't have a ton of film. South Carolina looked like they were going to be one of those teams with a lot of unknowns. Their first, we'll call them 3 games, including that exhibition game, put up over 100 points. They had 30 assists in their last game. They've incredible depth. I think it was 7 players in double digits. It's just kind of looked like they've locked and reloaded, certainly in Columbia. What have stood out to you, and where do you see an opportunity for your team to be able to compete in Columbia on Thursday?
Well, they're very dynamic offensively. They're doing a great job of scoring the basketball, and not that they've historically struggled with that, but really rooted in the paint and what Cardoza can do, and then I think everybody's getting a glimpse of their guard play and their speed and their full court ability, and they certainly have put up big numbers, and it's very impressive. And our plan is to go be us. And, I appreciate the nature of the question. We feel really good about what our pieces look like, although we're all still discovering what our best self is. We know what we have to do to be the best version of Clemson in practice tomorrow, and that's what we're the most focused on. We've got to do a better job in transition defense than we have been, and that's because of our first 3 games. It was an area we thought we could improve, and then also obviously they've proven to be a very dynamic and capable transition team. And some of the challenges are obvious with the size and the speed. They're really shooting the ball great, so got to play great defense and got to go in with a lot of confidence and play with the toughness that I believe that Team 49 possesses.
How has that confidence piece already started to develop through these first 3 games for you guys?
Well, I think you can see a lot of balance. So we've had very balanced minutes. I think when you talk about balance, very often you're talking about balanced scoring, but we've had really balanced rebounding. We've had really balanced playmaking. It's come in a lot of different areas. We've had different people have to step up and play different roles, as we've had some unique roster challenges on the front end, but we're as healthy as we've been. We had our first practice with as most people as we've had since the beginning of practice, and so that's really exciting to get another really important person back in our huddle. And we excited to discover more, because I think we're just getting started with what this team's capable of.
What's that speech like to a team as you go in to take on number 1 in-state? There's so many different places you could kind of pinpoint. What's your conversation to the team this week?
The conversation with our team is just, let's keep getting better at being us. In our first 3 games, and I don't mean this any disrespect towards our next opponent or disrespect any of our previous opponents. We want to compete against Clemson's best, whether it's a day in practice or whether it's a day where we get to wear our uniforms, and it's exciting because we're going to keep score and it's going to be on TV and all those things. That doesn't change. And we have tremendous respect for all of our opponents, especially Thursday's opponent, no question. Great respect for what they've done and what they've built and their fan base and all of those things. But we're really excited about who we are, and that's what we're going to double down on.
Amanda, only 3 games so far, but does it seem like Amari has taken her game to just a whole other stratosphere this year?
She's just so stinking consistent. I feel like whenever I get a question about her, which I love questions about her, I could talk about her all day long. The level of consistency that she performs at such a high level and just fills in and does things. You look at the stat sheet and you immediately you're drawn to points and rebounds, but the way that she connects people, her basketball IQ is off the freaking charts. Just how she anticipates things. It's part of what makes her such an effective defender. She just really plays like that experienced veteran who loves her teammates. And so I'm really proud of what she's done, and I still think that the best is yet to come for her as well, because she's surrounded by the best group of pieces and people and diversity and talents that she's had during her career here. So that gives her her best chance to really shine too.
With Ruby coming off such a big freshman season, is there anything in particular you want to see her do to kind of build on that this year?
Yeah, absolutely, and she's doing it. Just again, the consistency piece, understanding when you're a player that is gets a lot of the spotlight and the expectations that come with that level of consistency that we talked about with Amari. That's what the great ones can really do. And then on days like today, we're talking about the things that show up, whether it be stat sheet or whether it be game day. Ruby is really, really doing a great job of mastering the intangibles and learning how much of a leader that she can be, how important her voice is, and what that sounds like and looks like in a good practice or a practice where we're struggling, and then finding just so much more of her identity beyond her ability to score. And just really love that growth and maturity we're seeing in her.
You brought in 2 transfers from Miami of Ohio. Just what was that recruiting process for them like, and bringing in 2 from the same school, and then what's your evaluation of them so far?
Yeah, really happy, with Amani and Cluse. We have 2 Maddies, so we refer to her as just Cluse. And it's also a cool last name to say, so I like saying it. But, just great people, fantastic competitors, really have helped us in areas we needed to get better at, bigger at, more impactful at. They both have already played big minutes for us, and our expectations for them just continue to rise. They were players that we had to get to know in a hurry, and that's really challenging for a place like ours where we place such a high premium on our culture, to really know who someone is. I had the good fortune of coaching one of their assistant coaches who was at Miami of Ohio, who said, "These are great kids, these are great women, these are great competitors, and you will love having them in your gym every day and the days that you get to sit with them in your office." And her name is Tiffany Swafford, and she nailed it.
All right, we'll go to questions from Zoom.
Hey, Zoom, where y'all at?
I got one more for you.
Okay.
Amanda, a couple years ago, you guys signed Ruby, biggest recruit in program history. Now you've gone out and signed Amari Berry. The trajectory of recruiting in the program, the excitement that you're seeing on the recruiting trail, and then in particular, if you could talk about Amari and what she could bring to this program.
Well, our trend is so positive and so upward, and it's great when there's a talented player who's also a fantastic human being like Amari Berry, who's attracted to that opportunity, and then also just as a Clemson person, just wants family and connection and realness and authenticity and quality and connection in her relationships. And then we're your place. And, I think obviously Ruby's decision as our first ever McDonald's All-American makes it a little bit easier for the next top 10 player to say, hey, I'm going to forego that well-worn path. I'm going to chart my own path. I'm going to make my own history. I want to hang banners that are mine and not try to hang the next banners. Those are really, really important things happening in our program. But Amari just deserves so much credit and so much boldness, the character and the confidence that it takes to make that decision. And, we think that that's a thing of the future here, and we hope that that's what we're going to continue to be a magnet in a way that we attract people that want culture. They want the environment. They want the academic experience. And then they want that elite athletic opportunity and that platform to create their own history and not go somewhere and repeat someone else's or be the next something to be the first something. And really, really excited about Amari and how dynamic she is. And she's just fun, too. Y'all are going to love her. I mean, she's just, heart of gold and chose Clemson for all the right reasons. And I think that's worth really shouting from the mountaintops, because I think there's a lot of decisions that go on in all the new modern landscape that we have that aren't necessarily always about the right things. But Amari Berry and Morgan Miller, the 2 young ladies that signed with us last week, they're about the right things. They're going to make us better. Thank you for the question.
Is it frustrating being in the same state as one of the preeminent programs in the country, or is it more still your resolve to close that gap?
It's not frustrating at all. You know, I think whenever you're get to be part of a rivalry that makes what you do, women's basketball, important in a state where, you know, shine a light on girls basketball more, then, you know, that's going to just be a tide that raises all ships. And, you know, this is a special rivalry. I've been very blessed to be part of some significant ones throughout my career. And, you know, we look forward to it. We look forward to continue to contribute to the heatedness of what it means, you know, when our two schools get together, no matter what field or court that it's on. And that's what's really, really special about college sports. And there's a lot of things about college sports that probably don't feel the same way they did 5 or 10 years ago. Rivalries is going to be one of those things we got to protect, and that we need you guys to, you know, keep showing up and covering and making them important. We can't lose those. They're really, really important. So we admire and respect everything they've done, and we're excited to play on Thursday.
Questions from Zoom?
Y'all are awesome. Go Tigers.